All right, everybody, 10:11 right now, and it is time to reveal our surprise celebrity guest. Your clues again were singer, famous family, youngest sibling. Everybody here tries to cheat. Shout out to our viewers at home who played along. The winner this week was Stephanie Stevenson from Roosevelt, Long Island, who correctly guessed. Please welcome Tamar Braxton.
There she is.
I sensed it.
I said Tamar.
I didn't want to say it and mess it up. I sensed it totally.
I said Jermaine Jackson.
We found the one thing that Betty's good at.
I'm good at guessing this.
Tamar, thank you for being here on such an important morning here to answer this burning question that I have had my whole life. Are you born with singing talent or can you learn it?
Okay, so my answer would have to be both. My situation, I was born with it, but you can actually learn how to sing. Now, I don't know how good of a singer, but you can learn how to at least stay on key.
So you realized you had like this amazing voice and what? Just like got a vocal coach to go along to help you along the way?
No, her family.
Well, luckily for me, my mom taught us all how to sing,
Yeah.
but I felt like I was actually born with the gift. But I knew that I could sing when I was watching Star Search. I was about 5 years old.
Star Search.
Yeah.
I love that show. I remember watching it and rooting
Yeah,
for
I
the little
remember
kids.
that.
Hey, Tamar, let me ask you this. We see a lot of singers out there, and they're really great when you hear them on the radio, but sometimes when you hear them live, you're like, oh my gosh. And then you wonder, is it all auto-tune? How big of a role do the electronics play in it?
You know, these days it's like singing a duet with auto-tune. But, you know, a lot of people don't know that singing in the studio and singing live are two totally different things. Those are two different arts in itself. And when you're not used to singing live, you just have to get used to singing live, and vice versa. When you're used to being a live singer, you have to get used to singing in the studio.
Hey,
so it doesn't mean you're less talented. You just got to get used to both fields.
I believe I can sing in my head somewhere.
Okay.
I believe I have talent. But Tamar,
Oh, really?
I do. Well, yes, and we'll
what
save
we
that
said.
for off camera. I'll sing to you, okay? Tamar, you can judge.
Okay.
But I am loving what you've been up to, and you have this new podcast out, which is called Under Construction. It's raw, it's personal, it's unapologetic. I want to play a clip and then have everybody talk to you about it.
Okay.
It's time to stop hoping for better days and create them. Every sector of our lives is pretty much under construction. Family, under construction. Career, under construction. Relationships, under construction. Emotions, I know mine live under construction. Finances, under construction. We might as well be under construction together.
I mean, ain't that the truth?
Amen
Under
to that.
construction is like the philosophy of my life, Tamar.
And your voice,
I
too.
just got over listening to the podcast with Taraji about mental health.
Yep.
And I just thought it was so powerful to hear both of you open and on the front lines talking about it. Why'd you feel the need to start a podcast?
Well, you know, I've been through a lot. And, you know, I've lived my life in front of the cameras, and it's been the good, bad, and the ugly. And so when the ugly comes, everybody wants to shame themselves or let other people shame us into not healing out loud. And my podcast, Under Construction, is about healing out loud and having a community with people who are not afraid, who are very open, and are willing to share their stories and heal openly.
OG? I have a question.
I don't know. It's like it's funny that Dan used the word frontline because we stay on the front line. Listen, if you have not heard Tamar sing that song, seriously, I think
let's
you're
leave
the
it that
most-
way.
No. Seriously, she is one of the best singers of our time. Underappreciated, underrecognized. I'm telling you, your voice is amazing. I'm not saying because I'm the honorary Braxton sister, Toji.
Yes.
I'm just saying it because your voice is heaven sent. Like, I've watched you perform live several times. I remember when you did the national anthem on your show, and you are just like I just have no words. I hear it, my throat hurts when I hear you sing, and I'm not even the one singing. So that's why I think that it's a gift that's born, because it can only be divine. What you do is not, you can't learn. I can't learn that even if I had the best trainers of all time.
That could be one of your challenges.
No, it's not. No, it runs in their family. Every single member sings.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Seriously.
it's clearly, I can't even do that. Like, there's no way. But we stay.
Okay, leave it to her. Hey, but Tamar, let's talk about, I'm sorry to go back to the podcast for a second, but I want to talk about it only because I think everybody can relate to some facet of it. I mean, just some of the things you guys talked about, which is one that OG would be fascinated by, was like prophets or psychics, right? So talk to me about how you choose the topic.
Well, it really does depend on what's going on in my life or things that you hear on TV or the radio, because we're in quarantine here. I'm in LA. We're in complete quarantined still. So, this is really the time to sit back and think and answer questions that you always had, right? And I grew up as a PK, and it's always been a question of mine, like, what's the difference between a psychic or a prophet? Like, am I going to hell by going to a psychic and not going to a prophet because I go to church? And that's been a very interesting subject in my podcast, because I think a lot of church people and people who always wanted to know, somebody to come out and talk about.
So what do you find out? What do you believe?
Well, I believe that it's a fine line.
Okay.
It's a fine line, but you have to not question your faith, and always have the answer within. I believe the answer lies within. So, not a psychic, not a prophet can tell you what the future holds. I feel like God leads you and guides you, and that comes from within. So that's what I believe.
Marisol?
I'm just basking in your glory, but if I could bring it back to the singing, because I have 2 young boys who love singing, and one of them swears he has perfect pitch. Is perfect pitch a real thing? And then his older brother says, no, Gavin, you're just tone deaf. So is perfect pitch a real thing, and can you actually be tone deaf? And if so, can you fix it?
OG's tone deaf.
Okay, so first of all, you said you want to bask in my beauty. That's because I have an amazing ring light. First.
Yes! Even in real.
Yeah. So the second thing, can you have perfect pitch? Yes, you can. Will you always have perfect pitch? No. So perfect pitch is more about hearing. When you hear a record or when you sing a record, you will automatically know if you're off or if you're on or if you're under, right? And being tone deaf, you asked, was that a real thing
Yes.
too? Absolutely. You know how when people can only sing in the shower and only sing in the car because they
Like
only
Dan?
sound good to themselves?
Yes.
That would constitute being
that
tone
is
deaf.
my mother, Miriam, God bless her, St. Peter's Church. She sits in the front pew, will sing off key, but sing louder than everybody else.
Ben?
Yeah, you just can't quite find it.
I just love your decor. I'm gonna get into your pillows right now and your wall. I love the wall treatments. What is happening? Can you narrate the pillows? What's happening with the pillows behind you?
Yeah, so this pillow here, these are all for my fans. I'm in my Tamar office where I record my under construction here as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, my decor was done by me. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's decorate. And these are things I just picked up along the way from my fans. This came from my Bluebird of Happiness album. This came from when I cut my hair. Do you guys remember that?
Wow.
Yes, and this is a collage from one of my fans from my Bluebird of Happiness, Logan, Soul Train Awards, one of my videos, and just a collage of memories.
I love it.
From
I love it. Tamar, I love the podcast. I think it's so fascinating. And by the way, you even teach me how to cook. I was listening to very carefully all about the sliced avocado with the salt and pepper, with the chicken. I mean, it's a healthy lifestyle at the same time.
Yeah, we just don't talk about mental health. We talk about everything under the sun. We talk about losing weight, reaching your goals, setting your intentions, for your life and your challenges that you have coming up. So, it's a really good podcast, and it's really right now my most prized possession.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely.
I like the tagline: raw, personal, unapologetic. It's everything and more. Everybody should listen to it. Tamar, thanks for coming on this morning.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Now, Tamar, stick around the commercial break. I'll sing to you.
No, Tamar,
Run while you can.
Girl,
Please.
run. Take that ring light and run.
She's like, my Zoom suddenly doesn't work. Tamar, thank you so much. You can listen to the podcast, by the way. It is out now where you listen to your podcast.
Hopefully we can have you back in
thank you so
studio
much.
one day soon, Tamar.
I know.